Hi there. Hope you're having a great day. And I truly hope that your day has been amazing. So, we are going strong with our spoken English series as well. And today we've got something truly special for you. As you can see on the screen, it is day number 28. All right. We are not learning difficult grammar, but we are learning something more special. All right. And that is mistakes that block fluency. Okay. And today's lesson revolves pretty much around this concept, that is, most common English mistakes one can do when they are communicating, and how to notice them, and also a very important point, that is how to avoid them. Okay? Remember, mistakes don't mean bad English at all. Mistakes are bound to happen, and they show where learning is happening. Okay, also just to give you a booster here, that is, mistakes are not a failure. Okay, mistakes show where learning is actually taking place, and when you understand common mistakes, my friends, your English improves faster. And that is the whole big idea and the concept for today. Let's look at the first part for today. All right, that is part one. And a very important topic to keep in mind is subject verb agreement, in the sense the friendship between your subject and the verb. So, on the whole, it is known as an agreement between both of these parameters, that is, subject, okay, and your agreement. That is something we need to keep in mind uh, as and when you look at the whole lesson for today, you will understand what are the common mistakes a person actually does when they are speaking in this particular language. First mistake, as for today, is the subject verb, wherein we are going to learn something very important, that is, the verb must match the subject. And what do I mean by that? Kindly look at the screen and I'll help you understand. All right. So, wrong sentences. She go to school every day. It sounds incomplete because in present simple or simple present tense, he, she, it need an extra support. He, she, it are subjects here. They need an extra support. And what is that support? We just add the alphabet S. Okay. Let's look at the correct sentences. She go to school every day. No, it is an incorrect sentence. The sentence is she goes to school every day. Now, my brother like coffee. No, it is, you need to add an S to it. So my brother likes coffee. Okay, that's the correct way to go on with the articulation. The third sentence for today is the teacher say hello. No, the teacher says hello. All right. Now that is something you really need to keep in mind. That is, we add S, okay, the alphabet S, when you kind of your pronoun or your subject is he, she, or it. Okay. So think of this like he, she, and it are the VIP subjects. What did I just say? Think of it as he, she, and it as the VIP, like very important person. Okay, and they need an extra support. And what is the extra support? And what is the extra support that you're looking at adding? The S alphabet to it. That's pretty much easy to kind of even memorize. All right. Quickly moving on to the second part, or the part two for today, is in reference with this particular topic on the screen, that is present perfect versus simple past or past simple. This is where your new kind of concept starts taking shape. Yes, the whole concept starts taking shape here, because you understand on a deeper level that why exactly a person kind of goes into that zone where they are creating certain errors while they are speaking, pretty much. So use the correct tense for time. This is a very common confusion, guys, but the mistake is about time, it is not about grammar here. So listen carefully. English chooses tense based on whether the time is finished or not finished. All right. Now let us look at certain wrong sentences or incorrect ones. I have seen him yesterday. It sounds correct, but it is incorrect. I'll let you know why. We have finished the work last night. Again sounds correct. However, it's incorrect grammatically as well. Okay. Now, the third example is she has gone there in 2020. All right. Doesn't seem that anything is wrong here, right? Now, let me just show you something that you need to understand. Okay. After a certain explanation, I'm going to come to this section again, the one that I'm trying to highlight here. I'm so sorry for this. Hold on. Hold on. So, this section, okay, I'm going to come back to this section again. I'm going to come back to this section again after a small explanation of what exactly I want to tell you about this. All right, let's come back to this again. So, finished time is equal to past simple. What do I mean? For example, yesterday. All right, last night. All this, wherever you can see the time has elapsed, it is finished time. Okay, and not a finished time. It means the result now. It is present perfect. That is, I have met her, in the sense like you have met her. And this is result oriented. I already told this. There is a series that we are also running in reference to grammar series. You just have to go and catch those videos as well. All right, but this particular topic wherein a person can do mistakes is under the spoken English series that we are also giving free on YouTube, the one that I'm talking about right now. Please go ahead and catch the grammar series as well, because you can wrap your heads around the concept of these common mistakes or errors the person can do. Go ahead and look at the grammar series as well, in order to, or in respect to, understand it at a deeper level. Great. So, unfinished period means today or this week. You need to use present perfect tense. All right. Or if you're kind of looking at using words like for or since, it means continuing to now. Again, it is present perfect. It is not simple past. You cannot use simple past when a certain action has been going on or continuing into this era, that is result oriented. All right, this is a common mistake that many people do when they are kind of looking at using or articulating these sentences. Let us look at correct sentences. As I told you, just wanted to kind of give you this explanation, coming down to the correct version of these incorrect sentences. All right. So, I saw him yesterday. Look at this sentence. It says, I have seen him yesterday. Pretty much sounds like it's articulated in a perfect kind of the formula or the builder sentence form is done here. However, you need to understand that if there is a word that comes in like yesterday, that is totally time bound, it means that it is simple past. Okay, you just should say that I saw him yesterday. Okay, what did I say? I saw him yesterday. Why? Yesterday is over. The action is over. So the tense must also be over. So this particular sentence is in reference to simple past. Next one. Look at this sentence. We have finished the work last night. Again, time bound, right? But sounds really truly correct. This particular sentence sounds truly correct. If I say, I have finished the work last night, no one can really think that I'm going wrong here. However, it is incorrect in terms of tenses. Why? Because the action has already taken place, it's done. So, again, last night is finished time. So, we say, we finished the work last night. We do not use this particular helping verb. Got it? Great. Let's come to the third example now. One more example. She has gone there in 2020. Look at this here. She has this one, where you can see my cursor moving. She has gone there in 2020, right? Now that sounds correct again. That's the reason I have kind of given a small tick here. However, the correct version is she went there in 2020. Why? Why? Because 2020 is a finished year. So we say she went there in 2020. Here is a golden rule, guys. listen carefully. Present perfect and finished time words cannot be in the same sentence. Or even simpler, okay? Finished time is equal to past simple or simple past, and when there is no time, or when there is, when there is an action that seems like it is in the past, however, when there is no time, you have to kind of go ahead and use your present perfect tense. Okay, if you can put the time on the calendar, you cannot use present perfect. Let me repeat that for you again. If you cannot put the time on a calendar or on the clock, you cannot use present perfect. You have to use simple past only. In the sense, if your work is already done and dusted, please go ahead and use simple past and not present perfect. That is also a very common mistake done with many of the users, be it in their in the beginner or intermediate or in advanced level. Please go ahead and keep this in mind. The mistake number two is when people use present perfect versus simple past. Let's quickly move on to the third section or the third part of this lesson today: prepositions, one of my favorites. All right, now, some words always go together. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Okay, English words have partners, guys. We don't say married with. All right, we do not say good in English, or we actually don't say afraid from. Many a times, many people use these wrong combinations. Why? Because prepositions have correct partners. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at the screen. Okay, so the incorrect sentences may sound something like this: she is married with him. No, she is married to him. Okay, so to him is something that we need to keep in mind. I am good in English. Many people say this, guys. I have personally heard itself. Doesn't really truly kind of sound incorrect. I'm good in English. I'm good in English. Many people think it's correct because in is when you are into something, like, physically in. All right. So I'm good in English. Are you inside of English? No, right? So obviously you're kind of going to pick another preposition, and that is at. So I'm good at English. You're not diving into English, right? Okay, it's something like I'm diving into the swimming pool. So you're kind of physically going into the swimming pool. That is when you use into. Okay, I am in a fix, like you are into that situation. So you're going to use in when you are in a situation, not right, not like you're good in English. I hope I'm clear there. Now, he is afraid from dogs. No, not from dogs. From is directional. Totally a directional word to use in reference with our prepositions here. Okay, so from is directional. So, the correct sentence is he is afraid of dogs. Is something that he's afraid of, not from. All right. So, only one thing that you can do, or a tip from me, is that learn expressions together, not word by word. All right. And also, when you kind of looking at using prepositions, understand only one thing, that you have to feel that the sentence is correct. Okay. Even logically, if I say that he is afraid from dogs, it sounds incorrect. So please go ahead and correct your English, or try to memorize these words not word by word, but together. That also works well. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next very important part of English is articles, obviously. Articles are these three friends. Okay, they are all friends: a, an, and the. So the is the definite article. What do I mean definite article? The is used, okay? The is used when you are going to talk about something very specific, like something the listener already knows, or something that is clear and unique. How would you actually question yourself? How would you question yourself? You would say, when do we use the, right? So, when it was mentioned before, for example, uh, If I say I bought a book yesterday, if I say I bought a book yesterday, now this book can be any book, right? It can be a fantasy book, it can be a horror book or a horror story, it can be a drama, it can be a romantic novel, it can be really anything. I would just say I bought a book yesterday. Now that's also a use of an article, but I'm not specifying. We are talking about the definite article, the definite. We are not definitely saying that it is the this horror story book, or this is the romantic book, or whatever it is. I'm just kind of going on and saying very casually that I bought a book yesterday. The book was very interesting. Now this same any book becomes specific, a definite book here. So that is when we look at using the as the article for articulating any kind of sentence that kind of has a use of articles. All right. So the first time it is the general kind of book. Okay, here in the first sentence or the first half of the sentence, the book is a general book. It can be any book really. However, what happens is this particular general book becomes specific. Why? This a book has suddenly become a very important person, that is the book. Okay, that is when we are using the and a as a articles. Okay, it's pretty easy to understand. When there is only one or one option or one unique option, you're kind of looking at using the as well. For example, the sun. You do not have many suns. Yes, we have many moons, but we have only one moon, right? So the moon, the earth, okay, the sun, the moon, or the earth. Many people pronounce it as the or the. Both are correct, all right. I prefer using the because it gives me a sense of the Shakespearean era. The also. However, pronounce it as you feel. It is the or the. No issues. So there is only one in the sense the sun is one, the moon is one, and the earth also is very unique to us. So everyone knows what we mean. So when everyone knows that this is only one particular object that's existing around you, the sun, the moon, the earth, also it's a definite article that we are looking at using. When the situation makes it clear. For example, even if you don't explain, the listener understands what one wants to. All right? Look at the example here. Pass me remote. If I just don't use this article the, pass me the remote. Which remote? There's only one remote in the room. So pass me the remote. You're going to use the. Okay. I'm going to the store. So the or the. I'm going to the store. Here again, the usual or the known store. If, for example, I'm just going up to my daughter or my sister, I'll just say that I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? So basically, they also know that I'm going to this same store that I usually visit. Okay, there also you're kind of looking at using the as your article, also known as what? The definite article. Okay, this is the definite article because it definitely says that we are going here, we are not going to any other store, or we are reading this particular book, we are not reading any other book. Okay, great. Now let's look at a simple rule or a simple reminder when we are looking at using articles. Use the or the when the noun is clear, specific, okay, and not new or general. Okay, great. Now let's look at indefinite articles. Now indefinite articles, my friends, are a and an. Now, a and an are used when we're talking about something general and not specific, in contradiction to our definite article, right? It is in contradiction to our definite article. Our definite article is used only when when you're talking about something specific. However, a and an are used when you're using something that is not specific really, or when someone mentions something for the first time. Okay, so when do we use a and an? When something is new. For example, I saw a bird in the park. It's not a particular bird, it's some bird, some random bird. It might be a sparrow, it might be an eagle, it might be any bird really. So I saw a bird in the park. Okay, great. Let's look at the next example. He wants to buy a car. We don't know which car. He just wants to buy a car. Correct? He just wants to buy a car. Don't know which one. So that is what it means when it is indefinite. We second the second the section under here is under this particular topic is when we mean one of many. What do you mean by that? Can I borrow a pencil? Why? Because there are many pencils here. So I'm just going to borrow one pencil out of the whole lot of pencils. So can I borrow a pencil out of so many? She needs a pen, not a special one, just any pen. Okay, if I say she needs the pen, she needs that particular pen, that is when we are looking at using the definite article the or the. Now when she needs a pen, it can be any pen really. It can be a red pen, it can be a blue pen, it can be a fancy pen, it can be just any random pen really. All right, so that's also a point to keep in mind when we mean one of many. Okay, third point is when we speaking generally about a type, not a specific person or a thing, like a teacher must be patient. Which teacher? All the teachers. Okay, a teacher must be patient. It's a kind of a universal truth kind of a thing. All right, a teacher must be patient, so you're using at looking at an indefinite article. A a scientist needs curiosity, right? This means any teacher or any scientist, not really specific. A or an, which one to use? This is also a kind of a confusion, all right? So it depends on the sound, not the spelling, really. Now, very simple rule to remember is that use a before the consonant. Use an before any vowel sound. You know the vowels, right? Right? So that is what I mean. A, E, I, O, U are our vowels, right? A, E, I, O, U. I just can't really write with my mouse, but I'm going to try. A, E, I, okay? And A, E, I, O, all right? And U are our vowels, correct? So let's look at what it says here. A cat, yes. A book, a house, k, b, okay, and h. Okay, all these consonants have their own sounds, but they are not, they are not like A, E, I, O, U. They have different sounds, right? Now these are vowels. When vowels are where the vowels are used, you're kind of going to look at using an as your preference of the indefinite articles, right? So a cat, a book, a house, a uniform. Okay, a uniform. It is uniform. It is starting with U, all right, but your sound starts with U. It's not umbrella, an umbrella. It's not a sound, it's a U sound. So therefore, it is a uniform. Now let's look at an, usage of an before an vowel. So an apple, an elephant, an R. R. H is silent here. All right. An honest person. How? Because we are not going to pronounce honest as honest. Many people pronounce it as honest, guys. Please keep it in mind. H is silent. So it is an honest person. Why? Honest person. Even though it's a consonant, even though H is a consonant here, H is silent. It's not kind of talking anything. So we are going to look at using an as our, our article, right? So easy rule to remember again is use a or an when the noun is not known, not specific or mentioned for the first time. Okay, great. Again, to just give you a small revision here of the incorrect and the correct sentences in reference to prepositions. She is teacher. No, she is a teacher. Any teacher really. I saw a movie yesterday. I saw a movie yesterday. Okay. He bought new house. He bought a new house. Okay. Now this is something very very basic in reference to prepositions. I just want you to understand that whenever you kind of look at using prepositions, keep in mind that all these errors that I'm talking about today are very important to always, always be aware of. Okay. The next one is the word order. So, English follows a fixed structure, guys. For example, if I say, I like very much this song, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It doesn't really fit the bill because subject, verb, and object always coming to picture. So, there is no subject, verb, object structure here. They have not followed. What is the order? It is subject, okay, plus verb, plus your object. Okay, that is the word order, right? That is the word order, guys. So here it is pretty much kind of, jumbled up. Let's look at this. I like this song very much. Subject, verb, and the object. So I like this song very much. The next one is she speaks English very well. Okay, this actually is correct. She speaks English very well. Okay, I'm just going to scratch that out. Both of them are correct. Okay, no, yeah, she speaks English very well. Yeah, very well. Well, very. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's kind of wrong here, obviously, because well and very, they don't match, right? Very has to come here and well has to take the next part. If you can look at the screen, she speaks English well, very. No, she speaks English very well. So, subject, verb, object order must be watched even when you look at sentences like this. All right? Yes. We watch always TV? No. We always watch TV. Okay? We always watch TV. Even when you look at sentences like this, logically also they sound incorrect. You really don't have to kind of, go deeper into any grammatical rule in order to understand if the sentence is sounding correct or incorrect. If I just say, we watch always TV, no, it's incorrect. You have to push that always a bit further than what it is now. So we always watch TV, right? So the structure here to remember is subject, verb plus your object. Let's look at the next topic for today is direct translation. The wrong sentences or the incorrect sentences sound something like this. I'm agree with you. Don't translate from your language. It was also a very prominent topic that I spoke about in one of the sessions under the same series, that is the 50-day spoken English course, going absolutely free from us, that is GK Pro. All right. So, kind of go ahead and start from day one if you've not. That's something that I really want you to do. Okay, only then you're going to understand what exactly we are trying to do here. Okay, so incorrect sentences is I'm agree with you. No, it doesn't come that way because you just can't directly translate from your mother tongue. So the correct sentence would be I agree with you. You're not going to be adding this. All right. I am having 20 years. No, I am 20 years old. He only came yesterday. He only came yesterday. It is directly translated from mother tongues. Okay. Any mother tongue really. He came in yesterday. Don't really have to say only. Only comes in only when we are see it comes in when we are trying to translate from our mother tongues. Do not use only wherever you want to. It doesn't sound right. Okay. So expressions in English are very, very, very different from your language. Never translate from your mother tongue and try to kind of articulate them in English. The subject verb order messes up at that point of time. Let's look at another important point, and that is small things change clarity, guys. Start sentences with capital letters and end sentences with your full stops. Why? This makes your English look confident. Let's look at some examples for today. My name is Ali. Look at this. Ali is a proper noun. Here's only one single guy or someone named Ali. So here, your A should be capitalized. Also, if you look at this same sentence, my is the starting of the sentence, right? So this also has to be capitalized. So your correct sentence will look like this. My name is Ali. All right. I like English. Same thing here. I is the starting word, okay? And then English, it's a it's a proper noun, all right? They're not common nouns. It's someone who is specific. It's something that is specific. English is a specific language. So there also it needs a capitalization, okay? Great. Then we went home. Look at this sentence. We went home. It was late. You just have to either add a comma or a full stop here. So punctuation and spellings are two different things, but they are very important. Okay. So a very simple rule to kind of remember is that always use capital letters and full stops where they are needed. Great. I just want you to look at the screen because this is something that I really want you to do in regards to today's lesson. Okay. What you can do is correct these. After correcting these sentences, say it aloud. Please pause the video here, all right? And do it as and when we are talking about it, all right? Great. Look at the screen. Correct these sentences, guys. She go to office. I spoke about it earlier, and you know under what mistake I also spoke about this particular sentence. I have done it yesterday. Remember, there is a time here. There is a time here. So you need to understand this. Yesterday is time bound, right? Yesterday is time bound. So what is wrong here? What is wrong here? The tense that we are looking at using. Okay, you need to change it into correct tense. I'm good in maths. What is incorrect here? What is incorrect? Maths. It's not a it's not a common noun, it's a proper noun in the sense it is a particular subject. Look at what is wrong in the sentence and try to correct it. He is doctor. Do you think the sentence is incomplete? It's missing an word or something, all right? Yes. I like very much coffee. What do you think about the sentence? The word order? You think the word order is incorrect, right? I spoke about all these one by one. Okay, let's go ahead and give you a very short revision. All right. See, the first thing I spoke about is subject verb agreement, where subject is the friend with the verb, and they pretty much have to fit in each other like a puzzle. Okay. Next, present perfect versus simple past. This is a very important thing that you need to keep in mind. Go back into the video, and if you want, you can kind of go ahead and listen to the same explanation that I just told, shared in this same session as well. You can do that. This is the second error that we spoke about. Third, prepositions. Okay, you know what prepositions are. However, there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. And articles, very important to keep in mind. The definite article the or the is used only when there is something specific around you. And a and an is used when there are, you know, not something very specific. Okay. When we are speaking about something generally, or if there are one out of many, or we can also use a in front of the consonants, and an picks up the vowels. A, E, I, O, U, guys. Okay, great. Word order, something really very important. That is subject, verb, and object. You have to kind of arrange your sentences accordingly, according to this structure. Okay, this is your structure. Keep in mind subject, verb plus object. Good. Next, direct translation. Do not go ahead and translate in your mother tongues. Not going to be working. Not going to be working. Mother tongue is a total no-no. MT means what? Mother tongue. It's a no-no. You really don't have to go ahead and talk in your mother tongue. Spelling and punctuation, very important again. Always use capital letters when you're starting the sentence or if it is a proper noun. And use full stops whenever needed. So, all these sentences have to be corrected according to all the errors or in reference to all the errors that I just spoke about. Pause the video and do it when the lesson is going on. Please do not jump out of the lesson and then try to do it. I somehow think it's never going to happen. Okay, great. So, a final message from my side, guys, that mistakes are normal. Correcting them is what we need, and it builds super confident speakers. So, fluent speakers are not perfect speakers all the time. They have done their homework. So, they are speakers who notice and fix mistakes, guys. Remember one thing, you're not bad at English, you're learning English. Okay. Now, if you're learning with us on YouTube, this lesson is a part of a free spoken English course. If you want guided practice and step by step confidence building, you can always join us to the free course link in the description. Start free. Remember to continue only when you feel ready. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.